Alright, we're back here with another video. I had something that I acquired many years ago that I figured I'd share here. Some of you might find this really cool. This is a Milwaukee blade card from 19 diggity doo. Who knows when? I sure don't know. But yeah, I figured I'd share this here. And I'll read you off what it says here. Starting with this one. First one here just says tough back. It says a roughing in blade for nail embedded woods and composition materials. 6 teeth per inch, 3.5 inches long. And it says tough back on it. This one here, the next one, right there, says it's a metal scroll saw blade for cutting heavy gauge metals. Hard rubber and fiber, 14 teeth per inch, 3 5/8 inches long. So at some point, Milwaukee stopped making special shaped blades. And really, honestly, when I first got in the trade, you really didn't see too many Milwaukee Sawzall blades. You saw more Lennox, DeWalt's. It seems like once Milwaukee started with their 18 volt M18 line with the lithium ion, shortly after Makita was popular with their 18 volt lithium ion, not too long after that, Milwaukee started into the game with their lithium ion M18 and M12 series, and that really brought up a whole new product line of blades, and then a couple years later, some bits and different things like that. But Milwaukee Sawzall blades weren't a really common thing, so Milwaukee almost must have stopped doing Sawzall stuff for I don't know how long. And yeah, it wasn't until the 18 volt line came out that you started seeing Milwaukee Sawzall blades and hacksaws. And I really think the hacksaw is what started producing the blades of this shape again, and we'll get into that one. But pretty interesting stuff here. This thing is a this thing's just a time machine in itself. Takes you way back. This is the blade card catalog number 49-22-1120. And it says here, genuine Milwaukee Sawzall blades in types and lengths for every sawing need. Milwaukee Electric Tool Corp., Brookfield, Wisconsin. So, we got the rough-in blade for fast cutting of nail-free wood. Shear tooth design. Fleam sharpened spring steel for shearing action. Long blade life. And this is actually says Sawzall Deluxe on it. Milwaukee's been naming their blades for years. Apparently, they got some called the Axe, and some called the Torch, and some called the chopper cutty thingy. I don't know, but Milwaukee makes different names for their blades all the time, and I don't know when this thing dates to. I've been trying to look online, and I just don't see a date for this. But this next blade will, this next blade will probably surprise you, because it recommends you to cut asbestos. So the next one is, it does not have anything written on it. And it says rough-in blade for economical cutting of nail-embedded woods, plywood, asbestos, and fiberboard. 10 teeth per inch, 6 inches long, hardened blade edge. So that's it there. And they recommend cutting asbestos on this thing. Interesting. Nowadays, the asbestos today is the silica. You get silicosis from cutting that fiberboard now, and hold your breath while you're drilling any holes in concrete, because that silica dust gets in your lungs, causes silicosis. The little vein parts of your lungs gets clogged up with that silica dust and does some serious damage long term. So if you didn't know that, now you know. And only recently, once I was getting out of the field, did OSHA actually step in and start implementing rules about mitigating that dust and requiring vacuums on things and on certain tools. And that's when that built-in vacuum on the Milwaukee kind of came out. Alright, so the next one is a roughened blade for general purpose work in wood and nail embedded woods, made of spring steel and resistant to breakage. So that's that blade there. And on this blade it says Milwaukee Tool Corporation. This has the catalog number 48-00-1031. All these have a catalog number, but you ain't never gonna find it, so I wasn't reading them off. But you'll see in the picture. You can pause it if you're interested. It does not say how many teeth per inch. All right, next one here is the green one at the top. This is actually open, so I'm going to open it. I'm not willing to open this whole thing. This is 10 teeth per inch, Milwaukee Electric Tool Corporation, made in USA. That's it there. Very similar to the hacksaw blades. Roughing in blade for all woods, including nail embedded woods. Hardened and tempered to resist bending or twisting, springs back to original shape even after severe use. Put that one away. Next one, this blue one. This one's actually falling out too. This says that it is a 14 teeth per inch, Milwaukee Electric Tool Corporation, made in the USA. Says it's a metal cutting blade for heavy gauge metals, bar stock, 1/8 inch thick and above, hard rubber, limited hardening of blade back for resiliency. So this blade is quite a bit thicker. This blade is quite a bit thinner. These nowadays are a bimetal design. Two dissimilar metals welded together, very much like some of the electrical components work, where they reshape themselves based on heat. So even your teeth are staggered. You can see. I don't know if you ever noticed on a sawzall blade, but it's not a straight line. It's very much a it's almost like a wave. And on this thing here, these are pretty much straight up and down. So back in the day, they used to pretty much stamp steel all these. Got a different process nowadays, but all right. Next one, wood scroll blade for sawing intricate shapes in wood and synthetic structural materials. Carbon steel economy blade. This blade looks really cool. I wish that they would bring this blade back. I'm sure somebody has one. Pretty cool though. It just says Sawzall on it. It does not tell me how many teeth per inch. Just for reference, because it's the most interesting blade. It's 48-00-1121 is the catalog number on this. All right, next we've got a Sawzall blade for electricians. It says here it's a metal cutting blade for cutting heavy gauge metals, conduit, pipe, channels and tubing, also for some varieties of stainless steel. This would have been your electrician Sawzall blade. Heck, I don't even know if electricians used Sawzalls back then. I would imagine so. I don't know. Hacksaws probably, mostly. No one's gonna drag a cord that far for that long. I think just about everybody used a hacksaw back then. When I got in the trade, people are still using hacksaws actually, and running cords. They had DeWalt Sawzalls that had that NiCad battery. You get about 30 cuts, and it wouldn't even give you a warning. It would just freaking die, dead. And then it would take 2 hours to charge it, and then you just repeat the process. Those things are a piece of crap. I will say this though, they cut incredibly fast. That old Sawzall. It was so powerful you'd break the shaft on those Sawzalls, I recall. DeWalt had an issue with that. Anyway. Alright, next one. Right here. I don't have it. I never did. But it is a metal scroll cutting blade for metals 18 gauge to 1/8 thick, also for some varieties of stainless steel. By the way, this blade for the electrical for conduit was 18 teeth per inch, in case you were wondering. Alright, so this blade, metal scroll cutting blade for metals 18 gauge to 1/8 inch thick, also for some varieties of stainless steel. That's probably a pretty cool blade. You can see here, I can't blow this up, I've tried. This is the only picture that I could find. There it is there. And you can see here it's got an outline. It's got an outline of what it used to look like. Alright, and then here we got a metal cutting blade for metals heavier than 1/8 inch thick, angles, bar stock, hard rubber, and fiber. And this is a 14 tooth per inch, and that's it there. So this is the whole blade card. Awesome. This is the whole blade card. This is probably one of the cooler tools that I own. This is what the back looks like. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that here. Probably one of the cooler tools that I own. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.